We have a question from Scott. Hi, Scott. My son has since graduated high school, but I distinctly remember him telling me after one of his home games that his coach had them in the weight room doing heavy squats before the game. That does show up sometimes. I know that, in fact, many of us argue that a team that should have won the Super Bowl lost because they were training so heavy in the weight room, getting ready for the game. Having coached at a high school program before, I could not wrap my head around why a coach would have players doing such a thing before a game. It could be simply this, is that the coach read something about Charlie Francis, which Charlie Francis even said was not true, about doing squats before sprinting to activate the muscles. I don't think you need a lot of activation to play a high school football game. I remember the second Coach Young led us through the gates, I was ready to go, once you run out on that field. But maybe some people do need some time in the weight room. This is unusual. I'm not saying it's wrong, it's unusual. In your many years at coaching football, did you ever have the players in the weight room lifting before a game? No, never. Before a track meet, did you ever have your throwers or runners doing snatches or power cleans before a competition? I had them snatch and clean between throws at practice, but never in competition, because making there's enough going on. The day of a track meet, I don't think you need to add any more mental stress for the coaching staff. Is there anything in the training literature that you have seen that would recommend this kind of practice? And as I said, when I heard Charlie Francis debunk this, I was there with my good friend and dietitian Lyle McDonald, and Lyle every so often would have to turn to me and explain to me what was going on because I kept getting lost in the conversation. Turned out later on I wasn't the only one. But, is doing lifting before, can it work? It might, but I got to tell you, that is if it does work, it would have to be done with a lot of practice beforehand. I wouldn't wait for the day of the Super Bowl or the Olympic trials to do that. I would practice this maybe over a 4-year program with an athlete and see how that athlete responds. Sure, I've heard of it. I also heard it discounted, so it's something I don't practice. In my career, I have never been a fan of lifting and then throwing. I've always been a fan of lifting after your sport. This is my experience. I'm not saying either is right or wrong, and that's only because I would much rather the athlete focus on the event, spend the time out there on the field or the track or the pitch or whatever, getting the reps in, and then using the weight room as much time as we have. We would focus on the most important things. Generally, like you said, the Olympic lifts and the squatting movement and a loaded carry. So, yeah, I've heard of it, but I'm not, I don't think I'm a fan of it. Thanks for asking.